Hello everyone, this is a Summoner up to level 80 guide. This is Shadowbringers 5.3. For the following glamour, websites can be found in the description box below. For a Summoner series, we have Word of the Goddess, Topaz Carbuncle Ears, the Eastern Ladies Togi, Caller's Armlets, the number 2 type B Leggings, and the Viera Sandals. This is a Shadowbringers Summoner Skill Spotlight. Let's start this off at level 72. We get the enhanced Dreadwyrm Trance 2, grants 2 units of Dreadwyrm Aether upon the end of Dreadwyrm Trance. This basically makes it so that you skip the first phase of your Dreadwyrm Trance. You go straight to 2. As soon as you pop the Death Flare, you can go straight to summon Bahamut. And at level 72, we get a new ability and 2 new spells that take over. As soon as you pop the Trance, the Firebird Trance that is, reduces spell casting time by 2.5 seconds, duration of 20 seconds. Additional effect resets the Tri-Disaster recast timer. It is instant cast with a 55-second off global. Now before we jump into the new spells, you need to understand Dreadwyrm Trance is changed to Firebird Trance once Demi Bahamut leaves the field. So once Demi Bahamut's timer expires, hits 0, this will basically take over for Dreadwyrm Trance. The Firebird Trance will pop and it will start doing its countdown. Now once in Firebird Trance, you can pop that button and you're going to see that your Ruin 3 turns into Fountain of Fire, deals fire damage with a potency of 250. This is a single target cast spell. It is instant cast with a recast timer. Additional effect, it grants Hellish Conduit, duration of 10 seconds. What this does is that your next spell, which will be turned from the Outburst, so Outburst turns into the Brand of Purgatory, deals fire damage to target and all enemies nearby it with a potency of 350 for the first enemy, and then 50% less, which is 125 potency for all remaining enemies. Can only be executed while under the effect of both Firebird Trance and Hellish Conduit, which is the Fountain of Fire proc. This is similar to normal weapon skill procs where you need to activate one before you do the other. Well, similarly and not so similar, if you do not use Fountain of Fire, Brand of Purgatory is not even available. At level 74, we get an enhanced Eggy Assault. It grants the further ruin upon using Eggy Assault 2, maximum stacks of 4, similar to the enhanced Ruin 2 from level 62. This way you can use your Ruin 4 from both Eggy Assaults now. At level 76, we get enhanced Outburst. The potency on Outburst goes from 70 to 90. Again, the priority for AoE is still 3 targets. That still hasn't changed. At level 78, we get enhanced Bane. Extends the duration of Bio and Miasma applied by Bane to the full duration of the original effects. So remember when I said before at level 30 that the Bane would give the timer at whatever it was. So the timer was at 20 seconds for instance, then the rest of the enemies would have it at 20 seconds instead of 30. Well, this way it resets the timer. So if it's at 5 seconds left, it would reset back to 30 on the rest of the enemies. At a level 80, we get an enhanced version of the original Firebird Trance from level 72. This one basically summons Demi Phoenix, which executes the Everlasting Flight as it manifests. Each time you cast a spell on an enemy, Demi Phoenix will do the Scarlet Flame, which is identical to the Worm Wave from Bahamut. Same potency, same time. Cannot enter Firebird Trance unless a pet is summoned. Current pet will leave the battlefield while Demi Phoenix is present and return once gone. At level 80, the summoner gets the Enkindle Phoenix, orders Demi Phoenix to execute Revelation. It is instant cast with a 10-second off global. It is similar to the Bahamut's version of Enkindle Bahamut. At level 80, we get the Everlasting Flight, gradually restores own HP, your HP that is, and the HP of all nearby party members, cured potency of 100 with 21 seconds on the timer. It is instant cast. It goes off as soon as the Demi Phoenix is summoned, and it will leave when the Phoenix leaves as well. The potency total is roughly 700. The radius is 15 yalms, so try to stick close to the summoner if you need a little bit of healing. Don't really rely too much on this. Do not trust this. Healing is very weak, but it kind of assists the healer. And at level 80, we get the Revelation, or at least Demi Phoenix gets the Revelation. So as soon as you press the Enkindle Phoenix, the Phoenix has a bit of a queue time, similar to Bahamut, before it uses the Revelation itself, which deals fire damage to target and all enemies nearby it with a potency of 650 for the first enemy and 50% less for remaining enemies, so that's 325 potency, similar to the Akmorn from Bahamut. Can only be executed while Demi Phoenix is summoned. It is instant cast. So I want to explain Scarlet Flame lastly, because it's pretty much identical to Wormwave from Bahamut. Scarlet Flame deals a 150 potency with a recast of 1.5. It is instant cast. It's pretty quick. It's basically Demi Phoenix's auto attack. It's exactly the same as Bahamut's, so make sure you cast the spell, otherwise Phoenix just stands still. Hello everyone, this is going to be the single target rotation for the summoner up to level 80. It is a bit complicated, but I will be pausing the video as little as often as I should be able to further explain the situation for anybody that gets lost. So with that, let's get started with the Summon 3. I'm just going to do a simple rotation. I'm trying to simplify it as much as possible. Let's do the Ruin 2 into the Try Disaster Dreadwyrm Trance. The Eggy Assault 1 into Aether Pact Enkindle, Eggy Assault 2 into Energy Drain Fester, Eggy Assault 1 again into the Lucid Dreaming. You can do the optional Swift Cast. It is optional because you might want to hold on to it if you're doing MSQ content or any kind of new content and you expect people to die. After that, let's do the Eggy Assault 2 into the Fester and Death Flare. So Bahamut should be available for summon. Let's do the Ruin 3 if you used the Swift Cast. If not, just go ahead and cast a Ruin 4. Immediate Summon Bahamut and Enkindle Bahamut. Let's do the Ruin 4 procs if you have them. If not, just go ahead and spam Ruin 2. You're going to do that about 5 times. Just spam it until you get the Enkindle Bahamut again. Go ahead and press the Enkindle Bahamut with the Try Disaster. So we want to reset the dots. After that, go ahead and spam the Ruin 2 3 more times. So 1, 2, and 3. And on the third one, go ahead and press the Energy Drain and the Fester. The Bahamut should leave. And now you can do the Eggy Assault 1, Eggy Assault 2. Do the Ruin 4 proc with the Fester. Another Ruin 4 proc. Now, in this situation, we're just going to do a bunch of Ruin 3s since they do the most amount of damage, and we're just basically waiting for our Firebird Trance to come back up again. We're going to do 4 Ruin 3s and then do the Ruin 2 into a weighted. The reason why I wait here is because the Firebird Trance is a priority OGCD. It is used into a spell, and that spell is going to be the Fountain of Fire. I've explained before what a priority OGCD is. You can look at the previous videos of Summoner for that. After that, let's do the Enkindle Phoenix, which is an OGCD, and then let's do the Brand of Purgatory, Immediate Try Disaster, so we can reset dots again. Let's do a Fountain of Fire into another Brand of Purgatory, Immediate Drain and Fester. Let's do another Fountain of Fire into the Lucid Dreaming and Enkindle Phoenix, a Brand of Purgatory and the Fountain of Fire into the last Fester, another Brand of Purgatory, and you should be able to cast a Fountain of Fire right before the Phoenix leaves. I am running with just the standard 480 high quality crafted gear. There is no spell speed bonus. If there is, it's very minimal. It's mostly crit and direct hit rate. After that, let's do the Eggy Assault 1 and 2. Let's do the Ruin 4 proc, so there's 2 of them. Another Eggy Assault 1 and 2, and then with the Ruin 4 procs after that. Make sure you do not go over 4 stacks on the Ruin 4 because you're wasting DPS. After the second Ruin 4, let's do the Energy Drain, and now we're going to spam Ruin 2, actually Ruin 3, until we have our Dreadwyrm Trance available again. Now, there is a situation with Summoner that after the Firebird Trance leaves, your basically running out of the dot timer, do not hard cast your dots on the target. Just spam the Ruin 3 till your Tri-Disaster or your Trance comes up so you can reset the Tri-Disaster itself. Do not hard cast the dots. So we're going to just spam Ruin 3 until our Tri-Disaster comes back up. So it should be 4-6 Ruin 3s and then into immediate Ruin 2, and then we basically renew from the beginning. Tri-Disaster, Dreadwyrm Trance, rinse and renew. A quick tip: the Firebird Trance as well as the Dreadwyrm Trance resets the Tri-Disaster, so you can Tri-Disaster the first target, reset, and then Tri-Disaster the second target. Again, I'll be pausing the video for the AoE rotation. Let's start off with the Garuda. Let's do Ruin 2 into the immediate Tri-Disaster Bane. Let's do Eggy Assault 1 into immediate Dreadwyrm Trance Aether Pact. Eggy Assault 1 again into the Enkindle and Energy Siphon. Make sure the Garuda is nearby so the Aether Pact hits everybody. After that, we're going to just spam Outburst. We're going to do this twice. Why would you do this twice? Because Garuda used Aether Pact and it is also queued up the Enkindle. So you want to make sure your pet has enough time to do their Enkindle. Right afterwards, you don't want to remove the pets mid-cast. That will actually interrupt them. After the second Outburst, we're going to summon out our Titan. You want to make sure you get into melee range for your Titan to come out right in the middle of the pack. After that, we're going to do the Eggy Assault 2 into the Pain Flare and immediate Death Flare. Now the Death Flare can be used anywhere along this rotation. As soon as the Aether Pact goes off, the Death Flare is a thing. Go ahead and press it, try to hit as many targets as possible. After the Death Flare, or after the Pain Flare in the rotation I should say, go ahead and cast your Eggy Assault 2 into the immediate Lucid Dreaming. From here on, you can cast the Swift Cast after the Lucid Dreaming, and you can go ahead and set yourself up for an extra Outburst instant cast. But either way, you're going to be using the Outburst. Make sure that you have the Ruin 4 procs if you start running out of targets. The target priority is 3 targets for the Ruin 4 or 4 or more for the Outburst. As soon as the Outburst goes off, you want to go ahead and summon Bahamut. If you summon Bahamut during the AoE, make sure you weave 1 OGCD between Outburst. If you're going down the Ruin 4 pathway, go ahead and just do the summon Bahamut into the Enkindle Bahamut after the Ruin 4 proc. Anywhere we're going to go through the Outburst method, so summon Bahamut, Outburst, Enkindle Bahamut, Outburst, Pain Flare after the Outburst. We're going to do another 2 Outbursts into the Enkindle Bahamuts. Just press it as soon as it's available. You're going to thank me for that. And then 2 more Outbursts, and that should finish off your rotation. If you went down the Ruin 4 path, you have plenty of time to cast your OGCDs. That includes the Enkindle Bahamuts. And with that, let's jump to a dungeon example. Hello everyone, this is going to be a post commentary of a dungeon and raid example later on. I'm going to do a bit of a raid for the boss example because I've been doing too many dungeon raids and or dungeon boss examples. The thing that I didn't explain is during Firebird Trance, Phoenix's rotation is the same whether it's single target or AoE, so I didn't bother showing that during the AoE example. I'm going to try to do the best that I can to post-commentary this sort of stuff. It happens really quickly, but the video is pretty much over, so I'm just here to mess around. Make sure to toss your Death Flare as soon as possible during AoE, as soon as you're able to do, right after the Aether Pact if you have it. If you don't have the Aether Pact, just toss it as soon as possible. And this is going to be the post commentary on the Puppet's Bunker, I believe. So I decided to do this instead of a dungeon boss, mostly because I've been doing too many of those. So save your swift cast for anybody that dies, especially with these comments or these this content, people are going to be dying a lot. Okay, get out of that. Go to the sides, or you risk dying, like that guy. Okay, so that's why we have Swift Cast. Swift Cast that guy out. Better to burn your mana than a healer's. That's for sure. Mechanical Contusion. Okay, get out of Telegraphs. Get out of Circle Mechanics. Spam the Ruin 2 if you have no idea what you're doing. That is the sure way of doing damage. Good old geometry. So position yourself between the two. Yes, Ruin 2 is the safest way to do damage as summoner if you have no idea what you're doing. So we got Phoenix up. There should be another Phoenix coming up as well. There it is. So basically, wherever your Ruin 3 is, pop the Ruin 3. Wherever the Outburst is, pop where the Outburst is. That's basically the GCD rotation for Phoenix. Toss GCDs in between. Okay, this mechanic again. And then, yep, the no stack circles. I'm not going to use my... Yeah, oh yeah, that guy died again. Okay, so the second phase. I was about to say I wasn't going to use my my raid bonus, my raid buff. Kind of a brain fart there, I forgot what it was called. Yeah, not until this guy showed up, this phase. Otherwise, I would have pretty much have wasted it. So that hits on a raid wide. Should get healed up for that. So Bahamut phase, just spam Ruin 2. Spam Ruin 2, get rid of all of your OGCDs. Make sure you toss the Enkindle. Summoner is kind of a rough thing to play and master. I don't recommend you playing Summoner anytime soon just for gags. You're gonna have a rough time. It's similar to Bard and Monk in that regard. You're pressing a lot of buttons really quickly. Especially Bard. There's nothing comes close to Bard in terms of pressing buttons. So yeah, that's a forward cleave, and that's going to for sure kill you. And if it doesn't, it sure needs to. Extremely well telegraphed. So that's a melee. Make sure you get in close when you see the little circles glow up. I don't think I would ever want to tank this place. It's not exactly my go-to, and I would probably get confused as to what I'm doing as a tank. But eventually, when all this is said and done, I will tank it eventually. That's going to be a fun time. So after Summoner comes Black Mage. If you want a little sneak peek up to what is coming up next. Black Mage is going to be a fun time for me because it is the most enjoyable job that I can play during Shadowbringers. It's by far the most enjoyable. So that's an answer if you were ever wondering what's my favorite, not favorite, but most enjoyable job in the game right now. Black Mage definitely takes number 1. Number 2 is definitely Dark Knight. And I'm not sure about the rest. As far as I'm concerned, you've seen all the mechanics. Another Bahamut phase, and then we have Phoenix. So between the two, there's a small gap. As soon as the Phoenix ends, basically you have... I'm not doing my rotations properly here. I'm mostly just wondering what the hell to do with the mechanics, but during Phoenix phase, you're going to have a small, like roughly 20 to 30 seconds, 25 seconds, where you need to basically just spam Ruin 3. Just spam Ruin 3 or Outburst, because you do not have dots on the target. So just like I mentioned before, don't hard cast your dots, just wait till Try Disaster comes back up. we got to go to this guy over here. And there should be multiple. Yeah. Otherwise, that happens to you. The machinist, I got to bring him back. Oh, somebody else got it. Okay, so this is the main reason why I save Swiftcast. Obviously, if you're running Savage Raid and you have a static group or people that generally know what they're doing, you definitely just burn your Swiftcast. That's a different mentality, though, from doing 24-man raids and, you know, dungeons and stuff like that. So we just got to go to the sections that are pulsating to do the mechanics. Don't always go there because the boss likes to play around with your the boss likes to do mind games, and they sometimes teleport themselves to those sections, the sections that are pulsating, and you might get killed. It's minor details. So this section is kind of confusing for me sometimes, but as long as you get hit by one telegraph, you should survive. As long as you're pretty healthy. You basically go to the sections that are not being hit by one of those circles in the outer rim of the arena. But there's so many of them and you have like 5 seconds to figure it out. Just get hit by one of them if you need to, or just follow the group. So there we go. We're going to the pulsating area, and that could happen to you, so get out of the way. Otherwise, you'll die to it for sure. Another Phoenix phase, so 1-2, 1-2. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah, the Bahamut phase compared to the Phoenix phase is kind of clunky. The Phoenix phase is so simple compared to Bahamut, especially during AoE. I wish they had like a... It would kind of, you know, make things a little complicated, but I wish they had a instant cast version of Outburst. That's AoE. That sounds convoluted. Let me rephrase that. I wish they had a instant version of an AoE Ruin 4 that you could just cast if you do procs. So instead of Ruin 4 from Ruin 2, you would have something from Outburst for AoE. So you could spam that sort of stuff whenever Bahamut comes out. But that's just me and my thinking. It isn't as efficient as it should be sometimes. I talk a lot of nonsense. So focus telegraphs on the tanks. Those are tank busters. Get away from that, or they will one-shot you no matter how much health you have. Maybe you might be able to survive it, but I haven't survived it yet. I've been hit by one of those before. It's a kind of a sad situation. I think it was a black mage. I did not survive it. So just stand in the areas for meteors, meteor impact. Make sure those meteors do not hit. Just like any other meteor impact, they will hit the entire room. And that's pretty much it, right? That's the end of the boss fight. Yep. Hello world, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe here. You can also donate if interested in supporting the channel. More content to watch on the right side. If interested in joining in the Tempest Talons, info in the top left. And as always, good luck to you, and we'll see you next time.